The Danish Deception, Part 1. Okay. So it all started in June of 2022. I was in a place in my life where I was working 2 jobs. I was working like a dog, and I knew I needed a break. So I reached out to my friend Sarah, who was living in Germany at the time with her husband. And I said, let's take a trip. Let's go somewhere in Europe. And she was so down. And we were trying to decide where we wanted to go. We decided to go to Hvar, Croatia, because we wanted somewhere that was like a cute local town that was by the water. But it wouldn't be as crazy busy as other places in Europe. And so we decided to go to Havana. We flew to Split first, met there, took a ferry over. And at first I was just so amazed at how beautiful this place was. And so the first night, I was a little bit jet lagged. So we kept it very chill, grabbed dinner. Then went back to our Airbnb. And the next morning when we woke up, we had literally 2 things on our agenda. And that was to eat and drink and be by the water. And like I said, 3 things. But, yeah, eat, drink and be by the water. So we went to Hula Hula, which if you've been to Havana, you've been to Hula Hula. It's this beach club that's very well known there. And it's right on the water. And we're laying in daybeds kind of off to the side, minding our own business, sipping mojitos. And I look up and I see this very attractive man. And the first thing that came to my mind was, this man looks like he is walking straight out of a Calvin Klein ad. And I'm telling you guys, 6'3", blonde hair, blue eyes, chiseled skin, so tan muscles everywhere. I was definitely taking it back. And I feel like it takes a lot for me to really double take a man, just based on his looks like that. And 100% I was a little bit, just in awe. I didn't even realize that he was like with a friend at first. And so I'm still minding my own business, keeping it chill. And he looks over at me and he says, how are the drinks? And I said, the drinks are wonderful, we are just sipping mojitos. He said, should I get us all around? And I said, absolutely. Number 1, he's cute. Number 2, who wouldn't want a pre-mojito? So I said yes. We got around the drinks and we are sipping our drinks. And we just start small talking. And I asked them where they're from. And they say that they are both from Denmark. My ex was living in Copenhagen. And then his friend was living in a smaller town called Aalborg, which is north of Copenhagen. And that was actually my ex's hometown. That his friend was still living there. And so we were just small talking the whole time. We didn't really talk about a whole lot of things. It was just like, where are you from? And just basic things. But they're asking us, what's your plan for the rest of the trip? And we told them, we are doing a full day boat excursion tomorrow. And then we are going to dinner tonight at this place called Domino's. And he said, oh, how's the dinner spot? And I was like, I don't know, but I got recommended by a friend to go there. And he was like, okay. Well, maybe we'll meet up with you guys again later. And I said, sure. So we are getting a little bit tired. So we decide that it's time for us to leave. And so as we're leaving, I decide to make a bold move and just ask him for his Instagram influencer marketing courses. And obviously, I'm trying to be a little sly. So I asked him and his friend for their Instagrams and, we exchange Instagrams, we get into our taxi to go back to our Airbnb. And we are literally en route to our Airbnb. And I get a DM from him, and he basically said, it was so nice meeting you. Have fun at Dalmatino. Maybe we'll see you guys later. Didn't read anything into it. I just was like, it was fun to just have a conversation with a cute guy. And so we go back to our Airbnb. We get dressed, we get ready for dinner. And we're, on our way to dinner, and he is, messaging me about the restaurant and asking us details about it. I didn't, think anything of it. But we sit down, we are having dinner. We have a spectacular dinner. And we are finishing off the evening with our desserts, aka espresso martinis. And I'm sipping my drink. And I look up and I see him and his friend at the restaurant. And they walk up over to us. And I'm like, oh, hey. He's like, yeah. They are a little booked up. But they said they can, seat us in 20 minutes. I was like, oh, cool. Well, we are about to be done. But, we'll go grab a drink. Maybe we can, meet up later. And he said, okay. Sounds good. So it's kind of awkward timing. 'Cause we were finishing up dinner while they, hadn't even been sat yet. And so we went to a bar across the street and we're grabbing drinks. And I just, I hit a wall and I was like, okay, now I need to go to sleep. And I was super jet lagged. And so I sent him a DM, just basically saying, hey, we are so tired. We have a full boat excursion tomorrow. I don't think we're gonna stay out much later. And he was like, that's totally fine. And so the next day we wake up. We get on the boat and I start obviously posting, all my cute photos. Like, remember I took a photo driving the boat? And like, we're just, having fun. And I was like, looking at my Instagram story and I see his like influencer marketing courses. Heart in every single story. And like, he's responded to a couple of them. I am not the type of person that takes that reads very much into activity on social media like that. But it was something that I noticed. And so, we continued on with that for like a day and a half. And then he reaches out to me and he says, hey, like, what are you guys doing? And at this time, it is our last night in Hvar. And he said, what are you guys doing tonight? And I said, we don't really have plans. 'Cause we didn't. And he said, well, do you guys wanna come to dinner with us? And me and my friend were like, absolutely, sure. And she wasn't really down to go. I kind of forced her, 'cause I was like, this guy's hot, and it's a free dinner. Like, let's just go. It will be fun. And so she's a good friend. So she came with me. And we get to the restaurant. And him and his friend are sitting across from each other. So obviously I took the seat next to him. I'm sitting across from my friend. And we are sitting there. We are having a wonderful dinner and drinking tons of wine. And I come up with this idea to play this game. Where I'm asking his best friend to describe what my ex's type was. And 'cause we were obviously like, vibing with each other and I was just curious. And so his best friend starts listing off everything. Like good morals, hard worker. All these things. And like, I felt like he was describing me. And after his friend wasn't talking, my best friend basically said, aside from being a good cook, she checks off every single box. And I remember I looked at him, my ex, and I said, but I will become a great cook for a good man. And he starts laughing. I remember I put my hand on his leg and that was the first time in my life that I felt that instant electricity from someone's touch. Like, it literally felt like I was getting shocked. And we instantly had this physical attraction towards each other. And we started talking about what we did for work. And I told him that I was working as a real estate agent and in tech. And then he told me I'm actually chief commercial officer for a ad tech company that does marketing for real estate company. So I was working in real estate and tech. And he was working in real estate and tech. And everything just felt like it was aligning. But again, I'm like, this guy lives in Copenhagen. There's nothing that's gonna come from this. So after dinner, we go and grab some drinks at a bar nearby. And we grabbed one drink. And they are definitely gearing up to go back out. And it was our last night. And my friend really did not want to go out. And I am not the type of a girl to ever leave my friend for a man. Never in a million years. So I ended up just saying, hey, I think we're gonna call it a night and we're gonna head out. And he was respectful of that 100%. And I remember we just hugged goodbye and we left. And that was it. And so we are going back to our Airbnb. We are walking home, and I get a DM from him. And he said, it was so nice meeting you. I hope it's not the last time. Also, South Africa is happening. I can see it. And the reason why he said that was 'cause I was telling him that I had wanted to go to South Africa for that following Christmas. And because my family was gonna be traveling. And he said, I've always dreamt of going to South Africa. And I jokingly was like, well, you're invited if you wanna come. And so whenever he made that comment to me in the DM, I was like, okay, sure. I am not thinking anything of it. Right at this point. Whatever. Like, this guy lives 5,000 miles away from me. I'm not thinking anything of it. So the next day, my friend goes back to Germany. And I go to Barcelona to meet up with some friends. And again, I'm, posting throughout my trip. And every time I look at my phone, it's like he's DMing me, messaging me. And he's continuing all of this. And I'm just a little bit shocked. But also, very interested still at the same time. And he was remembering things that I told him at dinner. Like, I had told him that I was gonna buy a Chanel bag. Because I wanted to reward myself for working hard. And he had messaged me and then hey, did you get your Chanel bag? And I was literally, drunk off sangrias in my bikini. And cover up in the Chanel store when I got that DM. And I sent him a selfie, and he said, this is the best photo I've ever seen. I just, felt like I could just be myself with him already, and, we are just getting along and having good conversation. So, again, he doesn't even have my phone number at this point. We were literally just flirting through DMs. So I end up leaving Barcelona the next day. And I land and he sends me a message. And he said, what are you doing this weekend? Do you want to go to Ibiza? And I saw the message and I was like, what? And we will continue in part 2.